So you just had some work done on your septic system, and you don't know when is the right time to actually reseed my grass. Today we're going to talk about that, but before we do, let me know below, does your septic system have a manhole riser to it, or do you even have access at all? Let's talk about it in the comments down below and why you think that might be a good thing. A lot of times you're going to see people have to get work done on their home. Typically, when it comes to our world, we're talking about the well and the septic system, and usually it's going to be for a water line or a sewer line. But this can also apply when it comes to public sewer, public water. Maybe you're putting in a pool, maybe you're putting in a patio. There's a variety of things that you could be doing on your property that would cause some damage to the grass. Now, in this particular circumstance, we're going to be talking about when it comes to digging up the septic system to install a manhole riser. These are access points on the middle of the septic tank. Remember, we've talked about it before, septic systems are quite large. They have basically a large concrete box. That's where all the stuff gets caught up, and then the liquid's going to go off into the drain field, dry well, sand mound, whatever you got. To put access on a tank, you have to obviously dig up the dirt to get to it. And when you get done doing that, guess what happens? All the dirt is now brown. You don't have any more grass because they had to destroy the grass. Typically, you can almost reseed immediately. For those of you who don't want to go any further, you can just reseed immediately and you're not going to see any issues, right? Obviously, when it comes to seeding your grass, you have to make sure that you're constantly watering it and you're not letting the birds and all that stuff eat all the seed. So you have to properly apply it and properly maintain it, and you'll have no problems. Now, where it becomes a problem is if you plan to put something solid over that area. So let's say you dig up the septic tank, you put your manhole riser in, and you plan to do a brick patio or something to that effect. That dirt that was just moved to make room for the riser is going to have moisture to it. It's going to have air in it. It's going to settle over time. Typically, we suggest about 6 weeks is what you would expect to see for some settling around the area. You might get little divots and some pockets in the ground, meaning if you seed immediately after the system's been serviced, then you run the risk of having a lumpy yard in the future. No big deal. You just fill it in with dirt and now you're back in business. Even if there's grass, you can just level it out as you go and you'll never have a real problem. But most people don't want to do that because that's tedious and that takes a little bit of effort. Effort's not inherently a problem. It's just, why would you do that when you could just do it all in one go? So what you're going to do when it comes to installing hardscaping, like a patio, you need to make sure that you have that settling finished. Otherwise, if you install a brick patio and the dirt continues to settle, now your nice smooth patio is going to be wavy, and that looks even worse than a lumpy yard. Same thing goes when it comes to sidewalks or to driveways. I've seen plenty of driveways where the sewer line's replaced and they didn't let it sit for long enough before, guess what? The asphalt caves in and we've got ourselves a problem. Not a big fan of people putting asphalt driveways over top the septic system or sewer line because obviously you can crush the pipes, right? If you're putting cars and trucks and boats and all sorts of heavy things over top your septic system, guess what? Over time, things are going to collapse. Recently, I had a property where they basically, what they did was they were installing a pool and they had a crane go over their dry well, and that crane fell through the lid of the dry well. Pool companies, it seems to be happening all the time, is they install stuff and they're constantly breaking dry wells. The same thing can happen with a variety of other things like landscaping. For example, if you have people taking trees down, they also use cranes and those cranes can fall through the septic system. I'm sure you all have seen the TikTok videos, the YouTube videos showing people like, oh no, I didn't know that we had a septic tank here and the truck fell right through it. That does happen. So don't put asphalt over top your septic system at all. This video is meant to be short. It's a question I get asked all the time is, I've just had repair work done. I want to reseed my grass. How long do I need to wait before I do it? And the answer is really simple. Immediately. You can do it as soon as the project's done. You can go ahead, slap some seed in there, and you're good. But if you have any plans for any kind of hard or permanent structure to be over top your septic system, you're going to want to wait a little bit because you could run into some big problems if that settling has not finished. If you found this useful in any way, shape, or form, you know what to do. Hit that like button, hit subscribe. I have videos posted every day on the world of well and septic. And until next time, guys.